Welcome to WhatGear Reviews, you absolute legend. Today is another interesting video. It's the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra versus the Oppo Find X2 versus the Huawei P40 Pro speed test. And what's really interesting about this one is each one of these devices have a different flagship system on chip. On the left hand side we have the Oppo Find X2 running on the Qualcomm Snapdragon 865. In the center is the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra running on Samsung's own flagship silicon, the Exynos 990. And on the right hand side we have Huawei's P40 Pro running their own high silicon Kirin 990. These are three of the most powerful chipsets in early 2020. Of course, the manufacturer's hardware and software may affect the results, but the question remains, which one is faster? And a little side note, all three phones refresh rates are set to 60 Hz just to make this a fair fight. Let's kick this off with a boot up speed test. So the way this video is going to be different from other speed test comparisons you've seen in the past is all three of these phones are 100% maxed out when it comes to battery. They've been off for more than 10 minutes, so the batteries are cold and also the CPUs are cold. What I'll do first is just open the Antutu here, and I ran this prior to the video, so we already have the results. But what this will do is keep track of the temperature of the CPUs and the batteries, and we'll come back to those at the end of the video. And as you can see right now, when it comes to Antutu, the Oppo Find X2 Pro is at the top. Then we've got the Exynos 990 on the Galaxy S20 Ultra, followed up by the Huawei. But does this translate into real world speed when it comes to day-to-day apps and games? And just quickly before we begin, let me show you the Geekbench scores as well. So again, the trend carries over. The Snapdragon 865 903 on the single core, 3060 on the multi. Followed up quite closely by the Exynos 990, quite a lot lower on the multi-score. Then you've got the Kirin 990 in the Huawei, actually the lowest ranking but higher on the multi-core than the Exynos. So here's how we're going to do it. We've got 5 games which we're going to open first. I'll do those by hand and I'll use post-editing to line them up perfectly so there's no human error when it comes to opening the apps at exactly the same time. Then the second 5 apps, which are day-to-day apps, I'm going to use the AI assistants on board. So we've got Google Assistant here, Google Assistant here. Then we've got Huawei's new Celia Assistant here. So it'll be interesting to see how well that does compared to the Google Assistant, especially considering it's brand new pretty much. So let's just hope that part of the video doesn't go horribly wrong. But anyway, let's get this show on the road. Let's go. So now it's time to test the AI and how quickly it can recognize my voice and perform a task. So let's boot up Celia and then we'll get the Google Assistants going as well. Open Twitter. Open Instagram. Open Reddit. Open Waze. Open Amazon Shopping. So that was pretty interesting. Actually, Celia did really well there. I was expecting Celia to not be quite as fast as the Google Assistant, just based off the fact that it's a lot newer and is still in development. So now it's time to look at the core temperatures and the battery temperatures on the three devices after having run these apps. So on the left hand side on the Oppo Find X2 Pro, 26.6 degrees Celsius, 27.7 here in the center on the Samsung, and the coolest of the three, 23 here on the Kirin 990 Huawei P40 Pro. And that is the battery temperatures. Now let's look at the CPU. So real-time temperatures right now, 32, just gone down to 31, 32. It's around about 31, 32 here on the Snapdragon, 46 here on the Exynos, which is really high, and you can see it's going up to 45, it's going up and down. And then the coolest again is the Kirin 990, which is currently at 25, 26 degrees. So overall, it's been a pretty interesting speed test. What did you guys think? Did you like the format that I used to do this test? If you did, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And if you want to check out a camera comparison between these three awesome flagship phones, there's a thumbnail on screen right now. You can go check that out. And if you just subscribed, you're now one of the finest subscribers known to man. I'll see you in the next one. Don't be late.